It's the Jay and Thomas Podcast, an hour of commentary on today's top stories, current events, or just life in general. And here are your hosts, Jay and Thomas Darden.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Jay and Thomas Podcast. As you can see, it's the most special episode that there ever will be because as you can see, I'm on location in Playas Ecuador. And I got the big man of the hour right here. We just had a fabulous lunch, or dinner I should say, at the El Jardín across the street where I'm staying in a little hotel. And we're going to start this episode as we normally do. And we're going to ask the man of the hour how he is. And I can look over right at him and be like, hey man, how you doing?
You tell me how I'm doing. You're here and you're observing on site right now.
Yeah, I know, right? The inspection's not going well. He's sitting at a D- right now, but it's not too bad. This is a wild setup, as it were, and I can only imagine what other craziness we're going to get into. As some of you all can see by this wonderful bright light we have going on right now, and by my red shirt that was not worn on purpose to make it seem like I am actually a lobster that has crawled out of the ocean that we are very close to. This is what just a couple of days in the Ecuadorian sun will do. Actually, just about a day itself on the back of a scooter. So that was pretty fun. And yeah, this is wild, man. You got the dogs here, you got your wife here, and everything is pretty incredible. Hopefully there's not a whole lot of background noise here because we're literally outside.
Yes, we are.
Set up on location. So
almost beachfront.
Very close, right?
Yeah,
it's beachfront enough to where everything's covered in sand and you'll have to kick the sand off your feet all the time, but you can't technically see the ocean. If you listen hard enough, you can hear it. But it's one where if you go over about a couple blocks in that direction, then you can actually see kind of what's going on and everything. It's like
broadcast from the treehouse.
This is it's literally a treehouse. There's a no girls allowed sign on the front. Of course, in this, it's no muchachas or whatever the term in Spanish is for lady, and this is incredible. Now my journey down here, luckily, was smooth sailing, and I didn't look too suspicious. So hopefully it'll be the same thing going back.
You were able to smug all the things that we ask of you down here. Maybe. Peanut butter, maybe.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was all the peanut butter and books about right wing stuff. So, but yeah,
I'm trying to figure out the Democratic playbook, but I can't hardly because they're such morons. And I don't know what direction we're headed, but I'm trying to do a little research on that.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah, I'm afraid.
Aren't we all?
I'm afraid that Afghanistan or Kabul is going to turn into another Benghazi. So, I hope that doesn't happen because several innocent Americans lost their lives. But, and God bless the people that are over there giving their lives now and in service and in country and all that. It's just a complete and total, disaster over there now. But anyway.
Well, our thoughts and prayers are going out with the folks of Afghanistan there. Keep them in your hearts and your minds, and we'll just keep them in our thoughts because
it's a colossal 20-year fuck up is what it is, Beep. Oh, sorry, but yeah.
Yes, I definitely don't have the Go XLR here to. I'd have to be like beep beep, do it manually there because there ain't no soundboard in Ecuador,
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
Well, what is pretty cool is what we should have done was ask one of your neighbors for some studio time. Then we could have done the episode in there and had his setup and just got in and then recorded off of the wonderful Mac that is running Windows because it is boot camped, LOL.
Yeah, but neighbor across the street, Bo and Lori, they're from Canada, and we don't hold that against them, but he's the one that does our introduction for us. He recorded that introduction. He does a radio show still from Ecuador for Canada. I don't know how many days, but I think he does like in between songs type things of, but he records and he's been in the music business and radio business for decades. So
There you go, yeah.
he, got to throw props out to him for the introduction that you hear to
That's
the
it.
Jay and Thomas podcast is actually Bo doing that. He actually recorded that in his house and then sent it to us. So yeah, good.
Sounded better than anything we've done so far.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we're
yeah.
working on making our way up to that level of quality. That's for sure.
Good folks over there.
For sure. Well, it's something that was actually pretty cool that you all are hopefully seeing a very good picture right now where I'm recording on my telephone and with Camo, an app that we have, but you will notice that, of course, we are on the same screen, same area, same place, where Dad figured out that his VPN might have been what was causing some technical hiccups for his camera when it came to his video feed when it came to Discord. So hopefully you all in the very near future will see several episodes where it's just smooth sailing with that going forward. Because, of course, it's a work in progress. This is going to be, I think... oh, yes. Look, we have little friends down here. And welcome, Sean, to the podcast. Special guest coming through here all over the place. But yes, hopefully in the next several episodes, because we're getting on episode 20 here in the very near future, right? So we're cranking them out. Thank you all for sticking with us all this time, and for everybody who watches and pays attention and whatnot. We definitely appreciate all of you all.
You are getting my good side with this camera, right?
It can't fix ugly.
All right. Well, I just thought I'd check.
See, I have to be literally as mean to him as I can now, because when it won't sting as bad when I'm not up in the States. However, after this, when he comes and slide tackles me after the show ends, then
we both just fall back over out of our seats.
Yeah. So that's
don't hit your head.
Yeah. Doop. So that's how that's going to work. But also, speaking of our beautiful listeners, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Smash the like button, tickle the comments, and do all the things that you need to do to appease our YouTube overlords. I met some of you all today, and thank you very much for sticking with us and watching and listening. It was super cool. We went to somewhere today that had canasta as a game, and that's a wild experience.
Card
where
game, yeah.
It almost felt like Whose Line Is It Anyway, where everything's made up and the points don't matter. So that was super cool. Little Drew carry for you. That's just
right.
about how it seemed what was going on, and that was really cool. So thank you all very much for having me out there. That was very fun, and it's been a wild one. Like, geckos in my dorm room, or it kind of feels like a summer camp, because have you all ever been outside, or you've been outside? Have you ever stayed in a hotel outside, and then you kind of got to walk through the outside place, and there's sand and grass and a little playground? Well, it kind of feels like I'm at summer camp. Well, at this summer camp, they don't tell you how to start the air conditioning until the second day, just to make sure that you're willing to stick around. And also, there will be just lizards haphazardly in your room. Now, granted, I love my.
We didn't want you sleeping by yourself.
That's it, right? Like, yeah, we need to send somebody in there to keep him company, because the ghost who lives in my room back home, they're like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
And so I definitely needed some friends. So a gecko about the size of my hand here was in my room. I was like, "Hey, ¿qué pasa?" It's like, "Okay, you need to please leave." That one got out just fine, knew exactly where the door was. The second one, that was about the size of a gold dollar, its brain wasn't fully functioned yet, and it did not know what to do. So to that end, we got that little guy out of there, and then I figured out how to work the AC and turned it into the meat locker of Ecuador that we all know and love. So that was very, very pleasing. Rode around on some scooters.
And it's really pleasant out here right now. I mean, it's probably
right now. It's amazing.
It's 68 with a little
it's
breeze
fantastic.
or something blowing.
The breeze is coming off the ocean, as you all can tell. Well, I would say, can you all tell? But leave a comment down below if you can tell what time it is here, because right now is when I thrive, because the sun doesn't exist right now, and it is absolutely wonderful. So it's It's been pretty wild, One of the cool things down here is that everybody starts, or everyone, or a lot of the expats have began to teach English, and I'm wondering when you're going to hop on that train, because we have you set up with a laptop and a camera and all that stuff, so you could jump right on board there, man.
I didn't come down here to work.
But it's conversational English.
I've never been at a loss for words. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, beep, beep.
Yeah. They get paid to talk to people, and
well, there you go.
some kind of system that they're using to talk to people all over
Right.
the world. And I haven't gotten bored yet. I haven't been down here long enough to get bored.
Sure.
We came down the middle of April,
Right.
15th
right.
or so, and I'm not bored yet. So
Lucky you.
I'm still finding things out and searching things out and seeing the city and everything that's going on with it. So I don't.
Well, yeah, and you also just moved to this place recently too, right? So
Yeah,
if you keep, I don't want to say jumping around, but if you keep exploring and finding new things and whatnot, then it's going to take you a while, because it's a brand new country, brand new culture, and I don't think you'll get bored very quick.
No, there's always something to see or something to do down here, and
Right.
it's so inexpensive to live. I mean, so
Yeah.
yeah, so it'll take a while to get bored, and between working out
Right.
and learning Spanish and reading the books that I have.
Are you telling me you're playing?
No, it's not a plan at all.
It's a lifestyle change that's coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what I'm gonna do. So yeah. So
That's it.
it's like I said, I hadn't gotten bored yet. So
Cool.
it's like, and I might in 60 days I might say that.
Hey,
Well,
who
I need
knows,
something to
man?
do. Well, I
Right,
can
right.
drive a dump truck around if I got somebody sitting there telling me which direction to go. I could drive a dump truck or a gasoline truck or something like that if I wanted to drive. Right down 9 kilometers down the road is a deep, what do you call it, where they've dredged it out, the deep water port
Oh, sure.
for
sure,
importing stuff. And there's
Right,
two tuna plants within 10 miles of here, 10 kilometers of here down the road.
I don't
So,
think Pat wants you to come home smelling like tuna all
yeah, I don't want to come home be a fish, but
be like, hey.
yeah, I mean, there's stuff to do, but I didn't come down here to go to work.
No,
I
that's
could have
fair.
stayed up there if I wanted to work.
Well, hey,
So
that's fair. That's very fair. Like, who is that? Roddy Dangerfield. Like, that's fair.
yeah,
Well, nothing wrong with that, but it is definitely a wild experience, coming down here. This is my first time coming. This is my first time staying at this place, and then you all are actually here and living and stuff like that. So that's been pretty cool. And it's it's nice that you all have your bearings and know where to go and know where to get cheap beer and do all that. Our experience at Monty's was pretty wonderful, where a 22-ounce beer was $2.25. And when I figured that out, I was like, let's just stay here for the rest of the trip, man. It would be wonderful. And they're very nice people, and the food is great. All the seafood here is just amazing because they just caught it. Like, they literally just caught it. So
Right.
it is absolutely wonderful. Very very crazy stuff, but very good. And amazingly enough, like, everybody is very nice. Everyone here, they're always smiling. They always say hello. Buenos dias or buenos tardes, or
they're glad to be out and about down
Sure.
here and be the hustle and bustle.
Mm-hmm.
They're glad to be able to go back to the beaches, because when the lockdown was here,
Right.
it was locked down. I mean,
Yeah,
they
you
had
said they weren't playing.
military on the streets and stuff, and they gave you, like, I guess like Monday and Wednesday or something, to get
Yeah.
out between 7 and 2 to go to the store or go to the pharmacy, or you take care of whatever business you need to take care of between 7 and 2, and don't let
Right.
us catch you on the street after 2 o'clock. And they were really serious about that.
I have no doubt.
I mean, helicopters and Humvees and stuff on the streets, and that was before we got here. And now, since we've been here, they've had two weekend lockdowns where, like, Friday night at 5 o'clock to 5 o'clock Monday morning,
Sure.
don't
Sure.
leave the house unless you're in an ambulance.
Right.
You know, on your way to the
Buy
hospital.
all your groceries on Thursday
Don't
and
leave the
Friday
house, or
and all that,
if your house is on fire, you can walk out front and stand. But
Wow.
don't leave the house. And so we had to figure out. We didn't. They don't tell you till Thursday night
Sure,
at 9:00
sure.
that hey, there's a thing going in on Monday or on Friday.
Yeah.
To Monday, so there's an onslaught at the commissario at the grocery store
yeah.
to get groceries for the family for the weekend, and so that we experienced that the first couple of that was in April that we experienced that, like the second weekend we were down here, and we were like, holy smoke, man, it's just going to continue. But when they went into May, they took it off.
They lifted that or whatever.
Yeah, they're still all masked up down here, but
for the most part,
you know, and a lot of people, you don't see them on the street wearing a mask. But the buses, the taxis, and in the mall, you know, when you go into the mall, they check your temperature, and then they spray you with the hand sanitizer when you go in. You know, it's just, it's all, never mind. Anyway, it's...
yeah, they took my temperature going into the mall on my hand, and I'm like, okay, cool. I guess that works as well as you want it to. And then, you know, they squirted hand sanitizer in my hand, and I've got the bandana on, which was fine. You know, not that big a deal either way. But I love the commissariat because it's like a Walmart, but it's just more compact.
Right.
And there's just literally anything and everything that you would want is there.
From soup to nuts, buddy. Yeah.
Dude, you can get food, cosmetic products, hardware,
clothes,
furniture, appliances. It's just interesting, and it's not something that I expected, you know.
And everything's ridiculously cheap.
Oh yeah, it's insane.
Well, unless it's imported, though.
Right.
Yeah, if you go get a small bottle of Jif peanut butter, you'll pay $6 for it.
I ain't playing around.
Yeah, and it's like M&Ms. That's our forte is peanut M&Ms. No, the bag with the little snack packs in them.
Yeah,
it's like $7 for that bag of the little snack, like Halloween candy.
Well, hey, you ain't getting no peanut.
Yeah, I know, right?
You know?
So we found the trade-off, the generic version.
Of
peanut M&Ms. It's the same thing. It just ain't got the little white M&M on it. And so and those bags, big fat bags, are $1.75. Not that I would understand or know that and how to eat the whole bag. But.
Yeah, right. You know, it's not something I do very often, more than once a week or something, shit like that.
Oh yeah,
that is something else.
Yep.
But yeah, like food
and the liquor.
The
liquor and wine. They got a whole one side of this aisle is all liquor and wine, and then on this side is beer and chips, and it's pretty amazing because they've extended since the last time you were here. They've extended. They've moved the beer over to this side, and extended the wine out the rest of the aisle. But they've got a lot of stuff. We found Jack Daniels down here yesterday.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that was nice. Like, yeah, our good whiskey's back here, and of course they point to a bottle of Jack, and I'm like, okay. I mean, hey, you know, if
I'm feeling at home already,
right? Yeah, you know. Well, they had Tennessee Honey, which I thought was pretty humorous.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah, so they had one bottle of regular Jack, one bottle of Tennessee Honey, but one of the greatest things in the world is that they put the beer, liquor, and wine and chips down the same aisle.
Oh, absolutely.
Greatest thing in the world, man. It's like, you guys understand how
it's
this
like,
works.
Give me 3 of those and give me 3 of these. Give me 6 of those.
Yeah. Fill the whole cart up, man.
Yeah.
The cart thing is kind of wild, right? Because the cart never leaves the commissariat. When you get it, you transfer it to that upright cart thing and take that out, which is totally fine.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not.
Because you have to bag your own groceries. I haven't done that since I was like 15 years old.
Do you need some half and half and some bullshit to
get you through the day? I need a slower cashier because that little girl's
they're humming it, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm over here going, trying to get the stuff in the bag, you know, and then she takes off a few more bags and throws them. They're not going to give you any extra bags, but they're not going to open them for you.
No.
And I'm over here going, trying to open the plastic bag, and here the stuff's coming, and finally I get in there sometimes and I'm sweating so bad that I'll do this and I can pull the bags apart. You know, it's almost
don't do this at home.
It's almost like stealing second base, you know, where you you know, giving them. Yeah, and I wipe my forehead, get a mask on, and I'm in here trying, and we've already pushed this basket around this place, and I'll be over there, and it's like, yeah, I can do a little moisture here and open the bag and start stuffing the stuff.
So you're saying bagging groceries makes you moist?
Yes.
You know?
Yes, it does.
That is.
I ain't done that in a long time, and those plastic bags are a bunch of crap, man. They really are. So, because I double bag when the girl's not watching, I'm double bagging beer or double soft, like fair. Bottles of soft drinks, or if we get, like a bottle of wine or a bottle of margarita mix or something in glass bottles, I'll double that bag when they're not looking. So
no, I was gonna say the double bagging shouldn't be too big a deal if you're not doing it to every single thing.
No, I don't. They don't want to put any extra bags up there, but every now and then they see old man struggling, and they'll turn around and open up a bag and.
Right.
So it's like, okay, thank you.
Hey, they ain't messing around because they busy all the time.
It allows me to put the refrigerator together and then the produce together.
Yeah.
Don't put any chemicals in with your food.
Right.
That kind of stuff.
Well, that was something that was kind of pretty interesting yesterday, or the day. What was it, yesterday? Where we were trying to come back, and it was like, all right, put this bag in between your legs, and then Pat will hold this bag, and you put it between your legs and stuff. And it was just like, I had the beer, right? So I was like, okay, can't fuck this up, which invariably I did. That's 100% par for the course there. So we'll leave the me going kadink in a pothole for another time when I'm feeling a little more adventurous. But that was it was super fun on the scooter, especially when I figured out that there was a second and third gear basically
on the electric
because it's just electric scooter,
it's a switch.
And you just go click, whoa, hey, you can go to the next level, as my buddy would.
You can almost keep up with traffic then, can't you?
Right. So to that end, that was pretty wild. So hopefully the adventure of replacing a wheel isn't the craziest thing in the world, but it is what it is. Gotta.
Here we are on the side of the road loading the scooter in the back of a pickup truck.
My goodness, right. I could just hear the mariachi band. You screwed up, and it's like,
no,
okay, cool.
No, you did.
Well, I mean, I
ride
did.
that road enough times, you know where all the potholes are and all the ding dongs and all that,
Well, it comes down to you gotta fix some potholes, man.
It's kind of a comical story because that's the same pothole that Pat hit, and her phone pops out. Right. I ran over the phone first, and then a big transport bus ran over the phone right behind it. Yeah, and she's like,
took it out,
"Well, that's a done deal there, with you running over the phone." Well, I was behind you, and it popped out and it hit the ground, and I ran over it. I didn't have any time to get out of the way or nothing, and then the bus ran over it right behind me, and it's like. Yeah, we're going to have to do something about that phone since it got smushed.
Well,
it's the very same one. Very same pothole.
So, something that you were asking me what kind of topics I was thinking about for this show in particular, and I thought something that would kind of be interesting. And, of course, I'm going to smash cut into... I know you've seen No Country for Old Men.
No. I have not.
Okay.
Throw you off?
Not necessarily. The big thing is, I just wanted to reference that because that's what I'm going to smash cut into.
What's the most you ever lost on a coin toss?
Sir?
The most you ever lost on a coin toss?
I don't know. I couldn't say.
Call it.
Call it?
Yes.
For what?
Just call it.
Well, we need to know what we're calling it for here.
You need to call it. I can't call it for you. Well, it wouldn't be fair.
I didn't put nothing up.
Yes, you did. You've been putting it up your whole life. You just didn't know it.
So, the question is, what is the most you've ever lost, not on a coin toss specifically, not actually tossing a coin, but what's the most you've ever lost risking something? Does that make sense?
I don't know. what kind of risk it would be.
Could be anything. When is the time that you took a chance on something and it didn't work?
Lending somebody some money and it didn't work.
Okay. So that
The most that I've lost,
yeah.
$3,000.
So was that a calculated risk, or was that something you just did it and moved on?
I did it and moved on.
Okay.
I haven't moved on, but I haven't seen it. I haven't sent the hitman to figure that out. But
Not yet.
yeah, probably $3,000.
Okay. Well, and that's something that and it doesn't have to necessarily be monetarily, right, or money wise, because I remember you told me a while back that there were like two things where you like one thing it could have been where we would have moved to South Carolina
Yes.
a long time ago, and you were going to do something in baseball, which would have been kind of wild. And then the other thing was going down to what was it, Atlanta?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that was kind of something else. But those are two times. Now, did you just deny those offers, or were they rescinded, or how'd that work?
I denied the South Carolina offer, and the Atlanta offer was rescinded
Okay, so
through negotiations, and they, I said I'm not going to do it.
okay, well that's fair.
Yeah.
So something that I think is kind of wild. So like that technically was a risk, right? Was sticking around in Tennessee and yada yada.
Right.
So do you think that was worth it? We could have been Gamecocks instead of Volunteers.
It could have gone. It can go either way, though. I mean, you tell me what it about your growing up and your lifestyle and your plans and stuff. Did it change your plans?
Well, see, I don't know any better.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
that makes sense. Yeah, yeah.
I don't have any frame of reference.
All right.
So now, to that end, that decision to stick around landed you right here.
Right.
Right, which is kind of wild. So I thought that was just pretty interesting. And of course, I'm laying there in the bed looking through the crack in the wall or in the window sill where the light shines right in my face, and I was like, what kind of topics can we have there? And it's more like, so have you all risked anything? And has it paid off, or has it not? Leave a like and comment below if you've risked it all and actually gained or lost something, because honestly, that's something that we do every day. We get up and we've made it to the next day, but you're taking a risk all the time.
Another, I'll say, now that you brought that up and I started thinking, the landscaping business,
Yeah.
that was a risk.
Okay.
But I mean,
that turned out okay.
It worked
At least
out, yeah.
from my perspective.
Right. It was okay. But
Now-
it was a risk to just kind of
Start that
a risk
up.
to
Yeah.
do that.
Right.
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 Yeah.
Well, get your lawnmower, get your push mower, get your weed eater,
all your
trailer,
equipment,
truck,
yeah.
all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was I'll never forget. Speaking on the lawn care business, you were like driving up the hill, and then you go, doop, doop, and I was like, you all right over there, man? Because all I'm picturing is Final Destination, where you go, and it's like, there's Dad, just straight up, just bloop, and it just falls down. And just
The
keeps
lawnmower
going,
flipped over on me. Yeah.
Yeah, because little too top heavy to try to go up
Steep hill.
like a
It was
hill
it
that's
was
like
it was a
almost
ditch.
like this. Right,
Yeah, it was
right,
a ditch out in front of the building. Yeah.
Well, that
And I was
that
trying
was
to.
nuts.
I probably should have gone back and forth this
Yeah,
way, and I
yeah,
went
yeah.
down that way, and it went.
Yep, boop.
You was in the back weed eating or something, and came
Right,
back around
right.
the corner, and there I was underneath the lawnmower. But at least it's like, damn, you all right? Yeah, let's turn it over.
Yeah.
And finish.
Yeah, that was something else for sure. But yeah, it was just I thought it was kind of an interesting topic, and one of the reasons why I thought about that as well was coming down here, me specifically, because I've had a lot of wonderful and sweet relatives and family members who are like really nervous about me doing this, and it's a scenario where like, yeah, I'm taking the risk, but I get to see you in person, right? Like, I'm not going to be able to do that very many more times in your existence, because that's just kind of how it is, right? Like you live 3,300 miles away, and it's a risk that I'm willing to take. And and we're going to drag my sister or sisters down here at some point in time, and
I hope so.
We'll be,
Did you hear that?
We'll
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. Y'all come see us now.
I hope
you
you
hear?
come see me down here before I, can't do anything, and whatnot. But yeah, so that'll be pretty interesting, and I can't wait to see what global entry actually does, because the way that Tom spoke about today, not you, other Tom, and the way that you and talked about it today, and Kathy talked about it, they were like, it seems absolutely unnecessary. And I'm thinking to myself, bully to you, because
it depends on how you approach it.
I think so.
As to what it'll do for you.
Right. Well, TSA pre-check was a godsend. That was awesome. Go through, don't take your shoes off. I did have to toss a bottle of water that was half empty, but I'm like, okay, that's no big deal. Don't take your laptop out. Don't take your belt off. There, empty your pockets, put them in this little tray, and then get out of my face. Because they're like, oh, you're a safe traveler. And the only thing that they would have to worry about from me is getting mildly inebriated and, be like, how you doing?
Yeah.
And they're like, how about you stop what you're doing?
You wasn't taking a chance of getting duct taped to the chair or some shit, were you?
Don't tease me with a good time, okay? It was funny that, to me, the flight crew on the trip going down to Miami was the exact same flight crew that was the one coming out of Ecuador. That was just incredible to me. Like, small world,
Yeah.
Like, that was nuts. And so the guy in first class, super nice guy, he was the same guy again in first class, so he knew exactly what I wanted, and that I was pretty chill. And
that made it nice, didn't it?
Hey, Woodford Reserve, it's pretty nice, and it's free because you've already paid for first class. So get as much as you possibly can. Now I am excited to go back, and the reason being is because I'm actually in one of the gigantic 787s where my chair can lay down. And,
okay.
Of course, we leave at 2 in the morning. Well, I say me and the mouse in my pocket. Or the cat I'm going to sneak back that Gina's not going to see. And I can't wait for that. To be like, okay, I'm just going to peel my mask off, cover up with a blanket all the way, and then just curl up and lay down on the big-ass chair, knock on wood.
Yeah, it's just 4 hours.
So, it's not terrible. The biggest thing is the timing of it, right?
Right.
Because I can get in there, get to my proverbial seat. That won't be too big a deal. And
you
then
rolled out at 1:50.
Right, 1:50 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then I'll get to Miami and have 2 hours layover, then fly back to Nashville. But what was incredible was you were like, and you're right, the Miami airport is gigantic, right? But I was only 10 gates down.
Really?
From my other one. Yeah, I turned a corner.
Where did you get off? Did you get off at 60 or 59 or something?
No, 39.
Got off at 39?
Got off at 39.
Really?
Got on at 49. That's how close it was.
Wow.
Which, it was awesome, because right across the street from my gate was a lovely little Cuban restaurant that the lady bartender there, I was like, can you make a white Russian? And she was like, can you make a shoe smell? And I said, yes, ma'am, I can. And she was like, well, let's do it. And she actually got the cream out of the creamers for coffee. And I was like, she knows what's up.
She wasn't opening up the little bitty
Yeah, she
things.
was.
She
Yeah,
really?
100%.
Gosh.
Well, because understand this, a white Russian is 2 parts vodka, 1 part cream, 1 part Kahlua.
Okay.
Just for a little bit of sugar.
Okay.
And so, easy peasy. And they were doubles, and they were great. And 100 bucks later, and I was like, man, I'm ready to fly to Ecuador, man. I'm ready to go.
You were getting on the plane?
Yeah, because I'm like, yeah, it was like the, it was kind of like the song, I'm getting drunk on a plane, except I'm already drunk. Now, it really wasn't that inebriated. I wasn't feeling any pain, that's for sure. But no, we were super chill. No, she was great, man.
I bet she was.
That was wonderful, and I just sat there for an hour because I didn't have to go anywhere. I didn't want to spend any more money, but hopped on there, and that was wonderful. Like, we just chilled. There was actually nobody in the seat beside me, which I was like, this is incredible. So I guess there just aren't as many people flying in and out because, you've obviously been back and forth to Ecuador as well.
Right.
Normally, the gate is just jam-packed. You can't fit anybody in there. Well, heading down, nada, amigo. Wasn't a whole lot.
Really?
Now,
Wow.
granted, we're American Airlines.
Right.
A little more expensive to
Right.
fly that route. It wasn't JetBlue or Spirit. Or
But they
whatever.
got their act together, though. They're rolling. Mm-hmm. I looked up on the board when I was in the airport, and there was a Spirit flight out of New York. No, a JetBlue flight out of New York. Don't ever fly JetBlue. And it was
Sorry,
it
JetBlue,
was
we just
running
lost
3
a
hours
sponsor.
late.
Yeah, that's what you
Out
mentioned.
from New York to Miami, and I was like, "Geez, man, it was late every time." We flew at one time,
Yeah.
and every connector was late, or they made us change gates before,
Yeah.
because this one was late. It didn't have a gate to pull into, so they had to switch the gate so we could load up on it. Man, it was like, what a cluster, man.
Yeah, the only thing I had to change on my flights were my seats, just to be a little more comfortable. So,
Good.
but you get what you
That's
pay
good.
for. If
Yeah.
you want that kind of experience, you're gonna pay for it. And if not, and you're trying to fly on, a little tin can out of Al's Hair Care and Barn or whatever. the heck it is, whatever you
Al's
say.
Hair Care Tire Barn and Airport.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, man. So you definitely gonna get what you pay for.
Gonna do a little
there.
crop dusting on the way down. Yeah.
Going down there. So that's not too bad. The that experience was pretty wonderful. I can't wait to, like I said, on the way back to see how, like, if it's the same or if it's a little bit wonky, because I do have to go get a rapid test before I peace out, which is totally fine. I do think it's a little bit strange. Another decent topic we can talk about a little bit is I'm an American citizen. I bleed red, just like everyone else. But
And you have been vaccinated.
I have. I have my card. I've got my cute little vaccine card to show everybody there. Brovid. Okay, Brovid there. There it is. So I got the vaccine. It's ready to go, and I got both my shots and stuff. And here's the deal: I'm an American citizen. I'm 33 years old. I've been vaccinated. Let me back into the country with ease, because I've dotted my T's and crossed my I's.
And you've got TSA pre-check, you've got your passport, and you've been cleared.
Well, yeah, I've got it all.
So,
And it was just very peculiar to me that they want the rapid test stuff done and yada yada, where, just like Lori was saying, in Canada, now granted they make you quarantine in Canada on your own dime for like 14 days after the fact, but you don't have to do the rapid test until you get there. Which to me, I'm like, cool, stick the swab up my nose, in Miami and leave me alone, right? Because
Right.
it's not going to be that big a deal. And so, to that end, I just think that's incredible that, I'm vaccinated, I'm good to go, it shouldn't be an issue. And then they're like, oh yeah, by the way, you can't get on this plane in Ecuador to come back unless you've dotted your T's and crossed your I's the way they want you to, which to me is just incredibly strange, because now I could see if I got to Miami and they're like, okay, you're going to chill over here. And then we're going to do a test or whatever, which, hey, that's fine. You want to hold me there for a couple hours and do your silly-ass rapid test, that's totally fine. But I didn't...
as long as I don't miss my connector.
No
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, that to me, like, a lot of the things in government that we do and yada yada, I understand, and it is what it is, but that's a weird one, right? Because, I've been a good boy, and it seems as though you're not getting repaid for that sort of thing. You're just kind of like, I don't give a shit who you are. Stick the swab up your nose or up your ass, and then, say please, and they'll take it out, and then you
But
get
they're
the
not doing
results
everybody.
back. I don't understand.
We don't have Texas doesn't have a state line anymore.
Oh, right.
It's
Well, of course, I say right. That's me just appeasing you.
we've got a new state. They've added another state below Texas.
It's not New Mexico. It's New Mexico.
Yeah. No, it's just Mexico.
Mexico. Yeah, Mexico.
Yeah, that's another state of the United States.
Can we
The
tax them?
United States goes down to the triangle now. It goes all the way down because there's no B word anymore. I don't even say it. There's no border.
Oh,
There's just not one. So don't even talk about it or say it because they're full of crap. Everybody's just streaming across. So it's just all one big United States now. So
well, it's always been the United States.
it has been, but we were doing fine there before.
We're doing fine
Slow
now.
Joe and Swallow Me Harris to do what?
So we're doing fine now.
Okay, I'm doing great.
Hey, as long as they keep the check coming, dude will be like, America, go America.
Yeah.
And then be like, check please. Excuse me, hello.
Yeah.
Uncle Sam, hello. I had bad reception down here.
You know what I found out through a friend of mine that's from New Jersey that came down here. You can have your Social Security check direct deposited in the bank in Ecuador.
Like the banco or whatever.
I didn't know that. Like either the Bank of Pichincha or the Bank
Sure,
of Guayaquil.
sure.
The United States will shoot the funds right down there, so he can have his bank account here. Yes, and he didn't have to draw money out of his New Jersey bank where he used to live.
Well, and
he could set an account up here and have his funds put here,
right.
so he had direct access to them. And I thought that's pretty interesting.
It is. I think that's better when they had different currency, if that makes sense. Like that made a lot more sense from like, here's your American money, get it out. We're going to give it to you in Ecuadorian money at the time.
Right.
Now, of course, Ecuadorians use the almighty dollar,
American
which
dollar, yeah.
is good or bad, whatever you want to say.
The Canadian,
The loonie, man, I love it. The toonie and the loonie.
they don't get their money's not worth as much down here.
Right.
And that's pretty. You got $1,000, you get $600 or something. They were telling me, and I was like, "What? Yeah." And it's like, you got to be kidding. No, that's just how it is. And I was like,
Well, it's a scenario where, hey, they swapped over to the dollar, which I would love to know the backstory of that. Maybe that'll be a good topic for next time. Is why did they swap to the dollar? Cause,
here,
because you have so many countries. Canadians have the loonie. Mexico has pesos. A lot of Europe has the euro. Say maybe for Britain, but then again, they have the sterling silver. They got the British pound over there. So that's like the most expensive currency that I'm aware of is the British pound.
Right.
Because whenever we have to import stuff from Great Britain, and that's what they use, the GBP, it's like 1.3 times what the dollar is, and then the euro's like 1.2 or something like that. So God save the Queen, but dang, does she have a really good exchange rate on all of her crap, man. So it's pretty wild, but yeah, it's
dollar goes a long way down here.
It most certainly can. I mean, when you're looking at dinner for four across the street, where we ate was $24, and that's only because I got a beer. Like that was 4 cold drinks, 4 entrees, 4 sides. You two got a salad, and then the dollar was for the clamshell to take stuff home. That is a racket.
Yes.
Right there,
yes.
My friend. That is good.
Yeah,
So
they charge you $1 for a to-go container.
Right.
Every
place
that we've been, they charge you $1 extra for every to-go container, every like 3-compartment clamshell.
Yeah.
Or the round ones that they give you. You'll see one in the refrigerator, the round, where I bring the rice home or bring the vegetables home from a Chinese restaurant.
Sure.
And they charge you $1 extra. And, they're getting, they come in a sleeve of 50.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're probably coming in a case, and they probably the case of a gross of 144 or something like that. It's probably $12 or something like that. So they're trying to make a little. And I'm not mad at them. But mentioning the money, the fuel down here, gasoline.
You said it just went up a few months ago.
$2.28.
When like $1.95 or something.
Oh, it's when last time I came down here it was like $1.35.
Wow.
Yeah, and the cab driver I was talking to, he was telling me. He said, "Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. Just I mean, it's $1 more.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's
like
$1
down here,
more.
At least.
$1 more almost $1 more a gallon now than it was a year ago. here, and that's saying something here.
Yeah,
because,
no crap.
it was 228, and they don't do a 228.9. They do a 228.6 or something like that, because he put in, I don't know, $10.65 worth
Sure.
or something. But because that's when we were coming to pick you up at the
Oh,
airport.
yeah.
And he was talking about how gas had gone up. Well, he's a taxi driver. He
Yeah,
got to pay for his
yeah.
own gas. And I was like, okay, here's some money for gas, But 228, that's a lot to them, man. That's a lot.
Well, I was going to say, another 75 cents, and you're hitting state
There,
worthy.
he asked me what it was in the States.
Well, for Tennessee,
He asked me what it was in the States, and I told him, I said, I think it's probably bumping $3 a gallon now. Maybe.
Well, that's in Tennessee. Heck, over in California.
Yeah.
I mean, when
Who'd
we
ever
were.
want to go there or live?
Well, no. I
Yeah,
won't go
okay.
there.
Maybe it'll break off and float away or something.
Don't say that,
Okay.
because we would lose a lot of bud tenders if that was the case. So we don't want them to go away. They got some good crop out there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Shout out to Travel and Food SA there.
That's right.
Good stuff.
Canal. That's right.
Yep. But yeah, $5 a gallon in California. I don't know about that, man. Like, that's a rough one. Because
Well, and something down here that was interesting was they sell cigarettes by the individual.
yeah, you were saying that.
Because I don't know
nuts,
if you
man.
noticed when we were at Monty's, several people walked by.
Yeah,
and,
just-
and
got
they
a
would
smoke,
give her,
yeah.
they would slide something over across the counter,
Right.
and she would hand them a cigarette, and they would light it and go on, and I was like buying one. But a pack of cigarettes down here is I don't like $2 or something.
Yeah.
It's something ridiculous. Oh no, I take that back. It's $20 for a carton. How many packs in a carton?
I thought it was 10.
10? Is it 10 packs in a carton?
10 packs in a carton, 20
$20. Yeah, so it's
pack.
$2. Yeah, $2. And in Canada, a pack of cigarettes. I was talking to Bo about it, and in Canada, a pack of cigarettes was like $11. I said that'd make you quit smoking.
Yeah, well,
sure,
that's the
yeah.
hope. But what's nuts?
$11.
Some people still do it, and they roll on, man, because they're like, hey, they need it, and nicotine is a very addictive substance. And
$2 a pack.
It's pretty wild, They ain't playing around.
No.
But what is exciting, you mentioning that sort of thing, the drug, not the drug companies, tobacco companies, oftentimes,
It's
at
a
least from
drug.
what I've heard, huh?
It's a drug.
No, it is. But the tobacco companies will also have the campaigns that say stop smoking. So they play both sides of the
Well,
coin,
sure.
man. And
When you said
it's
drugs, I thought you were going to say cartel, and I was going to go.
Yeah,
We're Colombia's
yeah.
just a little north, so
Right.
they hadn't opened that border back up between
Hey,
Colombia and Ecuador yet.
What
so.
you were asking, Jahaldo, Honda. No, the guy from Street Fighter.
Yeah, there you go.
You were asking our buddy there how far it was from Venezuela to
Here, yeah.
here. Now I couldn't tell you in nautical miles, but Colombia's on the other side.
Venezuela's on the
Right.
other side of
Right,
Colombia.
yeah,
so,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay, that makes sense.
I thought that was kind of interesting because I don't know why, but for whatever reason, I really thought Venezuela was further down.
Well, we're bordered by Peru
Right.
and Colombia,
Right.
and then Venezuela's up here. But he was talking about how many Venezuelan people were here. And that's why I was asking, because I knew they had to come travel through Colombia to get here or around the
Do
country.
we know why they're here?
No, I mean I don't know. That's what I was asking him. He was saying how many were here, and I was like, well, how far is it? How far did they have to travel or make the journey or whatever? But he didn't understand what I was saying because because I talk too fast. That's what he. Called Lori and told Lori, he goes, Tom called me, but he talked too fast. Can't understand nothing he's saying. It's like, okay.
Well, we must have not have talked to each other for a hot minute, at least not on the phone or in person or whatever, because our cab ride home or back here was like nothing. You know, we were humming, but our mouths were also humming too.
He was doing $1.25 in kilometers.
Kilometers.
Now, I don't know how fast that is in miles per hour, but I know that the dotted line had turned solid.
Yeah.
So I was barely looking over his shoulder in a Chevrolet Aveo or something that's like this big.
Yeah, about the size of a matchbox.
Yeah,
you know,
and I mean, he was balling a jack, buddy. He
wasn't playing.
Yeah, and I was like, he's turned a 90-kilometer trip into like 45 minutes or something like that.
Well, he was humming, but we were chit-chatting and stuff, so...
You know, and
pretty
everything,
fast talkers, but
everything down here, not everything, but 90% of the stuff down here is 5-speed or standard shift.
Yeah, it's all standard.
Even the buses, the diesel buses are standard shift.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy smoke, a bus driver shifting
that would annoy me, man.
all day, stopping and starting and stopping and starting. Yeah, that would be that. Yeah, but he had a Chevrolet. It's probably a 21 or 22 model.
Wow,
little
that's pretty
4-cylinder 5-speed.
Right,
he was humming for sure.
They're cooking. Well, and one of the things too is like everybody's working. Like there aren't a whole lot of people down here who are just chilling, except for those retirees, and everyone's got their own hustle, which is cool. Like some people are selling hats. Some people are selling dog beds, which was hilarious because at Monty's, the person with the dog bed's like, "You need a dog bed for that little dog," and it's like, you know your customers well, you know, like, and it was just pretty humorous. And everyone, you know, they're selling something, they're making something, they're growing something.
They're
like
fishing.
They're fishing. They're just going nuts. It's super cool. Very, very interesting. You know, I don't, at least from what I've seen, I don't see a lot of lackadaisical people, right? Everyone's hustling. Like, they're moving and grooving. They've got their families they got to work on, or themselves, or whatever, and they're moving and grooving, man. Like they're not playing around. Where
it's real traditional down here, where the men go to work every day and the women stay in the house and take care of the laundry and the food in the house, the cooking and the children and stuff, and the men go out and kill something and drag it home. You know, it's one of those kind of deals.
The hunter-gatherer.
It's still kind of old school like that down here. So you see the guys, they're all up and rolling and going to work and stuff and doing what they need to do. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it'll take you back in time. To me, it takes me back to like the 70s or something, when everything was nice and easy and everything is slow and nobody's in a hurry. And, well, you can't tell it on the highway.
Yeah, they drive around like their boats are on fire.
Yeah, they're like their ass is on fire. You know, they passed, one guy, we were doing $1.25 and he passed us like we were tied to a tree. Yeah. And it's like, geez, man. And that was at night. But most of the time, it's pretty laid back. You know, you see the guys just moving along and doing what they do, and it's everything down here is concrete or brick.
Yeah.
There's very little wood built into places except the tree houses.
I was gonna say
it's all wood,
except for this bench back here and that wooden structure that you're living in.
Well, the structure that I live in is like that wood back there that your backpack's sitting on. It's all big, thick hardwood and stuff, but. And something that was interesting is the guy that we leased from said that he has a lady that comes over here twice a year and oils down all the wood with diesel fuel because it keeps the termites away. I didn't know that. I mean, that was interesting. And there's 2 5-gallon jugs of diesel fuel.
Wow.
in the I put them outside because they were inside the house in a room.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, these are not going to be inside. Next to the propane,
probably
and the open
not
flame. I know diesel doesn't flame up that much, but still, I wasn't going to be a part of a mix where we had a 4th of July early. Yeah, so I put them outside and flipped a plastic container over them where they still had room to breathe around them, but they were covered where the sun wouldn't beat down on them, and also that the rain wouldn't get on them either. So
I got you.
Pretty interesting though, but I didn't know the diesel fuel trick. So.
Well, you heard it here, folks, first. If you have termite problems, douse your wood in diesel.
Yeah.
And then be like, what's that smell?
But if you
As,
smoke,
know,
then don't
yeah,
do it.
right. Yeah, as Jimmy's over there, what?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, his face explodes.
yeah, it just goes wild. So yeah, be mindful of that. But they definitely have some jerry rig stuff down here, which is not necessarily a bad thing.
And I thought it was pretty cool though when you came down here. I said, well, what do you want to do? And he said, and you said, just do whatever you do, and I'll just float along with you. You know, and it's like, okay, well, this is what we do every day. So we're just motoring along and doing what we normally do every day, and you're motoring along with us. You know,
well, and that's one of the things. You know, I didn't come down here with an agenda.
You're on vacation.
Other than chilling with you, yeah, like
you're
just
on
kind of
vacation.
messing around
And I don't plan trips for people. Well, I need to take you here and I need to take you there. I don't need to take you anywhere, man. You know, you've been down here before, so
Right,
if there's somewhere you want to go, I said, tell me if there's something you want to do specifically, and we'll go do it. If not, then we're just gonna chill out every day. You know, so
which I'm all about. So
Yeah.
today we went and played canasta with some excellent folks and listened to the dogs bark at random stuff that they can't see or do anything about. So it's crazy that we actually are able to, you know, jerry rig this setup where we
and broadcast 3,300 miles away.
man.
That's right.
So
That's right.
we're coming at you from Playas Ecuador, and it's incredible, you know, being down here and seeing you, and then being with everybody, and it's nuts. It's a great thing to see and understand. Like, there is another world out there, right? The world is a big place, and there's a bunch of people in it, and everyone's doing their own thing and shaking and baking, and you know.
And the
It's
cab
cool.
driver told me that took me to pick you up at the airport. There's 5 million people in Guayaquil, in that city.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's why I said that they driving around like New York,
Oh,
where
yeah.
there's, you know, I said 4 million people in a 4 square mile area, and he's like, no, it's 5 million people in a 5 square mile area. And I was
Whoa,
like,
man.
really? And he goes, yeah, because I'm from here.
Yeah,
And I moved
yeah.
out to Playas to get away from here because it's so crowded.
gotcha.
But he actually is from there. And I was like, oh, well, that means you know all the streets. And he goes, yes, I do. So,
Well, and that's one thing that I find really fascinating as well, is that you will have some folks who would be city folk. They would just want to
Right,
stay in the city forever, and that's their home, or it might even be their home. They might have moved there and loved it and stayed. And you have some folks who are like, yeah, no, I'm not about that life.
Right,
And
right.
they don't want to do it for another second.
they come
nice.
from Guayaquil, which is the big city, here on weekends to get away from the big city
Right,
because this
right.
is one of the better beaches around. So that's why they come here, and that's why this place is thriving and getting crazy and gets real busy. You know, we'll go down on Saturday to the beach, and I'll show you how out of control it is. I mean, but when I say out of control, it's out of control fun. I mean, they're drinking and partying and on the beach and
Going nuts.
eating and having a big time. Yeah, it's a big deal. Yeah, they live life and enjoy it, man, every day down here.
Hey,
Yeah,
I ain't
every
mad at
day.
you.
Yeah, we're trying to too. So.
And that's all we're trying to do, man. Just get by and move and groove. And it was funny, you talking about me being on vacation. I got a call at 8:30 on Tuesday morning when I was on vacation, and somebody called me and was having computer issues, and I'm thinking to myself,
Wait, I'm
What?
officially on vacation.
yeah, like, what is happening here? And it's a scenario where I do enjoy helping folks. I don't vacation very often, so I was at a crossroads. But I had a very small amount of patience, especially for work things. And, you know, we got that situation covered, but it was just incredible that it was less than 24 hours after I had clocked out for vacation that they're calling, and I'm like, okay, I've either done two things. One, I'm indispensable, which is not true in the slightest. Or two, I didn't train them well enough to handle things on their own. So I can't wait to go back and have a brand new strategy on them being self-sufficient. And I'm sure they can't wait either. So that is some good stuff there for sure.
Oh gosh.
So
Well, you know, my favorite saying is training is the most misused word in the English language.
okay.
So there you go. Because nobody does it. Nobody
I was like, would you
trains
like to
any-
elaborate?
Nobody
on that?
trains anybody anymore, and they haven't for years.
Can
and
you
then they wonder
define-
why they don't perform. It's because you didn't train them. You didn't put the money or the hours or the time or the trouble in. Not you specifically, but you don't train them. You're not training people, and so
Okay, can you give me an example of training versus an example of not training?
restaurant business.
Sure.
Okay, server. Spending time with another server or spending time with a trainer and training and explaining and communicating.
Can you tell me what training is without using the word training?
It's you're bringing a person's ability out to perform an assigned
A task or a function. Sure.
Yeah. How about
Okay.
that? How about that?
That's fine. It's just
Yeah.
immediately you said train again, and I'm like, no.
Wait a minute. You can't use the definition of the word with the definition of the word.
That's
right?
correct.
Stop it now. But that's the problem. I mean, and it's like the restaurant industry, and then they wonder why they have poor service, or they wonder why people don't stay, or they wonder why their turnover is so high. We didn't train them good on the front end, or train them right on the front end, or things like that. They don't want to put the time or the trouble or the money into an individual. Right now, opportunities are exploding
Yeah.
for people.
Yeah.
I mean, they're exploding for people to shine in every industry if they'll get off their caboose and get out and go to work. They can shine. They can go to the next level. They can be whoever they want to be because there's not going to be anybody out there to compete with them or any competition, so they can move on up. And people are missing this opportunity right now, I think, because it's out there with the all the jobs that are out there that are unfilled.
I think that's fair to a degree, but one of the things we're having an issue with is we got a lot of people who are working a long time. Okay.
Right.
Well, there's a gap here. Okay. There's a gap of, like, as an example, me training you for something. Now, you and I communicate well enough where I could pretty much walk you through whatever.
Right.
But that's not always the case, right?
Right.
So, in certain instances, you have either where the technology is getting too advanced too quickly,
Right.
or you have a very niche thing that is necessarily just hard to train, right? Because let's say you're talking about a server. Well, let's say you're trying to teach me and I'm just a little jerk and I don't want to learn.
Right.
And you can come off and say, this is exactly what you need to do.
Right.
And certain people will either not have the same luck with it
Right.
because they just don't get the same kind of people.
Right.
Training methods might not feng shui, like they might not line up with whomever you're training.
Right.
Right. So we're not lending a lot of credence to, at least to me, it doesn't sound like you're giving a lot of credit to the trainers, because a lot of the times, I say one, this is just a list that'll go on for eternity. Another thing too is, like, you're having people who train folks who aren't trainers.
Then if you don't want to follow my instructions, then get the fuck out.
Ah, okay, but you said it's a workers' market, right? So
Yeah.
to that end, what if it's something where we just, it's like, well, I'm not a fan of your training style, but I'm a really good employee. Well, whose fault is it, right? Like, then you come at a crossroads, right? So it's just
Well, and it's a team effort also, because when I was in the restaurant business, I didn't put up on the sign now hiring smiling faces. I put up on my reader board, new team, new coach, need players.
good. I wonder how many people you lost out on who didn't understand your metaphor. Or
Now
your
wait.
thing.
When I worked for a hamburger corporation, on my reader board, I had a guy put up there, you can lick my Frosty, but you can't beat my meat. I mean, our meat. You can lick my Frosty, but you can't beat our meat.
See, now you're just starting to talk about licking and
Well, that sign only lasted for about 30 minutes before the office called and goes,
take
that down. Take that damn
the
sign down.
Yeah. I have no doubt. But
You got to have fun with work.
Right. But it looks like
I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm glad you're here. You came to see me.
I say,
I'm glad you're
yeah,
here.
you say it now. We ain't been
You still got to. You only been here one day so far. It's like, wait a minute,
so,
man.
Hey, man. So
Wait a
you
minute.
You gotta watch out. Hey, look, we
you
got-
making all that
yeah,
noise? Quit. We see
little-
the tail go by, and there's the other tail going by.
little people out here and stuff. So, to that end, it is wild being down here with you. So, thank you very much for having me, and thank you all
glad
very
you
much
came.
for watching the Jay and Thomas podcast. This has been Jay and Tom from the wonderful city of Playas, Ecuador, on site. And we will. Oh, Rosie, yes. Look, we have little guest stars here. Oh my goodness! Oh yes. Look at special guest. Yes. Shine. Look at that dog. Oh my goodness. Awesome. So thank you all so much for watching. Say hi to our special guest and guest producers, and we will catch you all in the next episode.
See you.